Okay, so first thing you're going to do is when you get your Chromebook, you're going to go to your Gmail. Or you could just log into Google Drive. For some reason, I like to log into Gmail. So I'm going to log into Gmail. And I'm going to go to Drive. So I click Drive like this. If you haven't done this already, it's a good idea. If you haven't already gone to Shared with Me and found the folder that I shared with you at the start of the year, you want to grab that folder and then move it to your drive. And the way to do that is, if you haven't already done this, there will be a folder icon up here. So you highlight and then click the folder icon and you'll move it to your drive. What will happen then is you'll have a folder like this, US History Period 2, and you'll find that right on your drive, right when you go to your drive. There might be other stuff on your drive from other classes, but you'll be able to go to this really easily. So if you open this up, you'll see that I've shared 2 files with you. Let me show you first the research log. So I shared this with everybody, and it's shared with me. So if you decide to use this for your blog and log end of the period report, kind of reporting out, exit slip type work, you can use this log, and it's already shared with me, and I can just go in and see what you wrote. So what you're going to want to do, you can read the directions on your own. You'll go in here, and what you'll do is you'll put you can read my example. I put an example for everybody. You'll go down to what should be the second or third page, depending on how Google Docs decided to format it. It seems like it's different on some of them. And you'll find where it says My Research Log. And what you'll do is you'll put today's date. A 10/22 like that is fine. You don't have to write out October 22nd if you don't want to. And you just write a couple sentences about what you did. Now, you'll see that there are some prompts that you could use. So, for example, who are you planning to share your work with? You could write about that. You could write about what you learned today. So maybe today you learned a little bit more about research. Maybe you could write about what you still need to do. So down here I'm just going to say something like, for today, I tried recording a screencast while I taught. We will see how that went very soon. And it's a very short research log, and that would be enough. Okay, so that's one thing I wanted to show you. Now, if we go back to this folder, I also created for everybody, for every group, a research organizer. So if you're ready to start your research, you're saying, you know what, I'm all set, my project's ready, I'm researching Cesar Chavez, I'm researching drug abuse, and I'm going to inform people about how we can prevent drug abuse. You can go to this doc and keep track of your research here. Notice, I don't know if you can see this, but it says Group W. So I'm Group W. Each of you has a letter assigned to your group. Don't worry about that. You don't need to keep track of that. It's just easier for me if there's a letter assigned to you, because that's how the program does it. But so, for example, Kenneth and Jovelyn and Jonathan and Alexander will all have the same doc. It's all shared with you. And then gentlemen here in front will all have their own group doc. So you're all shared on the same doc. So what you can do is go in, and as you do research, you can keep track of it here. So I'm going to go to a new tab, and I'm going to say, okay, students making choices in classroom. And I'm going to see if I can find anything. Okay, so here's an article about student choice and engagement. So I'm going to see if this is any good. Creating. Okay, choice at Finland Middle School. So let's say I like this. I'm going to copy the URL. And I'm going to paste it in here. And then I'm going to put the author. It's all these guys, so I'm going to write all their names. If I can, I'm going to copy it. If I can't copy it, I'm going to type it. So Paul Smathers, etc. I'm going to find this info, and then over here I'm going to keep track of why it was useful, why I think this is reliable information. Okay, the last thing I want to remind you of is that you can also blog. So at the end of the period, if you want to blog, you can go to Blogger. And if you go to Blogger, I'm going to sign in as Mr. Weller now because I forgot to set myself up with a student account. If you go to Blogger, you can also post on our blog, and that would work as a sort of exit slip at the end of the period. Okay, so I'm going to hit done on the screencast.